Hey, what's going on, guys? And I'm actually going to be doing a review of this chair. This is by a company that is one of many that's actually selling these chairs on Amazon. And I happened to come across this one. It actually had a lot of really good reviews, and I was looking for a chair that I could bring into the office space that I work out of. I actually had some nicer chairs from more known name brands, and I said, you know what, why don't I try one of these chairs? This one's getting some really good reviews. So I thought I'd put a video review out there for those of you considering this on Amazon and kind of talk about everything about this particular chair. This is like, not really a brand that you may have heard of outside of like Amazon, right? So I kind of wanted to start off first by talking about the instruction manual, the assembly, and then I wanted to go through, talk about like the functionalities of the chair and just really kind of give my thoughts on everything. So the first thing is the actual manual. This is the manual that it comes with. Very straightforward. There's not really much in here, and that's a good thing. You can literally see, you just have a few basic, I'm gonna actually hold it up, it'll be easier. Everything step by step. They have really detailed photos that show you how everything goes together. You start with the base, you put on the wheels, you add in the shock absorbent piece in the base, and then you attach the armrests, you attach the back of the chair, and then you basically just insert the chair into the base, and then you add the headrest, which literally just slides in. They give you very specific, clear photos of everything that comes with this. You do have a hex screw, so I was able to do everything by hand. I did not have to use a drill or any other tools. So it was very, very easy to put together. I was able to do this basically like while watching a Netflix show, and did it in like 15-20 minutes while going very slowly, just taking my time. So very, very simple. Instructions were easy to read. They had a little thank you note on the back, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, ended up working out pretty well. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. It's like XUER, or XUER is the name of the chair. So yeah, they had a little note in the back, came out pretty good. Now in terms of the chair itself, let's kind of talk about some stuff here. So you've got all mesh material. I really like the base of the chair. This is something that, if you sit in other office chairs, they have this like really hard kind of firm material. I do really like the feel of this. It feels very good when you're just sitting on it. In terms of like comparatively something else that'd be like a hard fabric or something that it's going to have cushion under it. This is all like a mesh material, so it's really nice, feels very comfortable. You have your lumbar support here, which is really good for those of you who might be having back pain or issues with your back. This is built in. It doesn't really have a whole lot of adjustment, but what is nice about this is it kind of has these like shock absorbent pieces here, so if you put pressure into your back on this, it's going to kind of absorb that with these little shock pieces they have in the back. So I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. I would say one slight negative on this is I would have maybe preferred to have something with the lumbar being like adjustable up or down. To give an example of that, here's a chair that's my wife's chair, and this has a lumbar piece that's in the back, and you can actually move this up and down. Now for many of you, because of the size of this, I mean, it's so big, it literally is going to cover just about anyone. I don't think it's really too much of a problem for probably most people, unless you're really having like some serious back problems. And in that case, you probably shouldn't just be looking to get a chair, right? It's probably going to be like physical therapy and chiropractors and all that other stuff, right? In terms of the rest of the chair, it also has a mesh back, so I really prefer this over something else. Like, I'll give this chair as a comparison. This one has a mesh back, but a lot of chairs will have like this tight foam material all through the entire chair, and it just really isn't ideal. I don't really think it's good in terms of like comfort. If you were to like sweat a little bit by chance, I mean, most of you probably wouldn't be, but that's going to kind of just absorb a lot of this in terms of like feeling like you're on a hot day or something like that. It's going to feel a lot better sitting in a chair like this. The headrest piece is not bad. It does have back here, you can basically, when you insert this, it kind of clips through, and you can move this up or down very incrementally, and then this can actually kind of be moved, but it doesn't really stay in place. It's kind of just as is. But for what it is, I mean, it's going to work perfectly fine. Like, as you sit in this, if you lean back into it, it's going to adjust with you. So there's not really much that's like needed here. And for most people, depending on what you're doing, I mean, this is going to be perfectly fine. And I think it works great for, you know, a simple headrest. I do have one on a nicer chair that I've got that was a little bit more expensive, and it constantly like clicks and makes noises when it's being adjusted, and it almost can actually be annoying. So that's definitely not going to happen with this particular chair. Now, in terms of the functionality of the chair itself, I mean, you've basically got very standard like wheel pedals, nothing really crazy going on here. Of course, you have the ability with the armchair. You can actually come in here and adjust this and angle it in just slightly or angle it out. So that's a really nice feature. A lot of chairs don't have that, as well as you can also hit a button here and you can adjust this up or down. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but basically you could push this in and you're going to be able to raise these up, which is a really nice functionality that this isn't, you know, part of these armrests. Another thing that you can do is you can actually move the base of the seat back and forth. So what I really like about this chair compared to like maybe older chairs, they'd have like this rod that comes out and then there's a little piece on it and you'd have to like, you know, wiggle it this way or wiggle it that way, and it's like really annoying. You don't really know exactly what you're doing half the time. And this is very straightforward. You have one button that shows you back and forth. If I hold this, I could actually move the base of the seat forward or back. And then I also have here, it just is like a lever that you pull out, and this will raise the seat or lower it. I'm not going to show that because it's pretty standard for most chairs, but it is a nice button here. It feels very firm, like it's not going to break, and it's very straightforward in terms of like getting that to function. And then you have one last one here on the other side, and you can use this to lock or unlock the back of the seat. So as an example, I'll just sit down. If I wanted to recline and go back, I could actually, I just set it. I could basically set it and move this back just a tad if I wanted to have it back, or I could unlock it and basically just completely move the chair freely. It'll kind of follow my body where I go. So this is really nice because if you wanted something really firm where you just want to move all the way up and you really want to have like more of a straight up and down, you know, back piece here, then this is going to work out really good. So anyway, overall, I would say this is a pretty good chair for the value. In terms of being like a, you know, a company I'd never heard of versus like say some bigger name brands, I think there's a lot of value to get from this, and I think for most people it's going to work out good. One little thing I would say, you know, I actually had my wife try this and it particularly doesn't bother me, but one little con I would say is that this chair, you know, depending on your body type and maybe how you adjust the base of the seat, you may find that it's not going to offer quite as much upper back support because of the way the lumbar is built in. And, you know, you could adjust this all the way forward. You could move the seat back, and that's probably going to help, but it probably wouldn't offer quite as much back support as some other chairs out there. I know in particular, like this example chair, this actually, because of the way that it's structured and everything that's here, it really just gives you like a firm grasp here in the back. And because of the way the lumbar is so aggressive here, it may not offer quite as much upper back support. So if that's a concern to you, that's something to keep in mind. But overall, I would still give this definitely a 5 out of 5, and I think it was worth the money. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know, and hopefully you found this review helpful.